Rose Zary and the Royal Emerald Secret by Darling James Miramey.
Chapter 1. The City of Dreams. The plane touched down at John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York City, named after the 35th President of the United States. Rose and her elder sister Lucy, who was nearly a teenager, disembarked the plane with their mum and dad. The family navigated the airport, following the brightly lit exit signs that guided them through the crowded terminal. Rose looked around with wide-eyed wonder, feeling the warmth of her mother's hand, Rose's grip tightening as she sought reassurance in this new and unfamiliar environment. The airport buzzed with a symphony of sounds, the hum of conversations in different languages, the clatter of luggage wheels on the shiny floor, and the occasional announcement echoing through the vast space. The air was filled with the rich aroma of coffee from the nearby cafe, the scent of freshly printed magazines, and the subtle hint of perfume from passing travellers, creating a tapestry of sensory experiences that enveloped Rose. Large digital displays flashed flight information, and the distant roar of planes taking off and landing added a steady background rhythm. Rose's senses were overwhelmed, but the warmth of her mother's hand and the familiar presence of her family grounded her, making the chaos of the airport feel a little less scary. As they followed the exit signs, the promise of their new adventure in New York City began to take shape.
"Mom, I don't like it here,"
Rose whispered in her ear. "It's a big change, but we're in this together." Mom looked at Rose like everything would be fine. A yellow taxi weaved its way south through the streets of New York, crossing over the iconic Queensboro Bridge before turning onto the bustling avenues of Manhattan. The skyline came into full view, a breathtaking panorama of steel and glass that stretched out before them. Downtown by Petula Clark played on the taxi radio, its melody and optimistic lyrics filling the car. The chorus echoed, "The lights are much brighter there, you can forget all your troubles, forget all your cares," perfectly capturing the spirit of the city that never sleeps. The sounds of Manhattan filtered through the open window, honking horns, distant sirens, and the chatter of pedestrians, creating a lively harmony that seemed to blend with the music. Petula Clark sang about the neon signs and the downtown scene, and Rose couldn't help but feel a connection to the city's promise of endless possibilities. The song's upbeat rhythm mirrored the city's own relentless energy, and the lyrics painted a picture of a place where the dreams come true and life is lived to the fullest. Rose gazed out the taxi window in awe, her sense of wonder and excitement growing. As the taxi headed south, the buildings grew taller and the streets more vibrant.
"Wow! Look at all of this! New York is amazing,"
Rose said. "Yes, it's pretty incredible, isn't it?" Dad added, trying to cool down his hot coffee with his breath. "I guess so. It's just a lot to take in." Lucy glanced up from her phone. "You know, your dad and I have been visiting New York for years with our projects, sometimes for just a few days, sometimes for months. It was tough at first. We didn't know many people outside of our work circles, and everything was so new and overwhelming. But we found our friends, other artists and creatives who shared our passions and welcomed us into their community. Like Aunt Lisa," Mom replied, eagerly searching for something in her bag. "That's why we wanted to raise you girls in a city that values diversity and creativity. We want you to have the freedom to explore your own passions and find your own path." Exactly. And now, look around you," Dad replied, savouring his coffee from a paper cup adorned with a clear print of a two-tailed mermaid. The taxi turned west, revealing new images of the city's dynamic landscape. The yellow car passed by bustling sidewalks, street vendors, and glittering marquees, each sight more thrilling than the last. Rose's spirits soared as the music and the sights merged into an unforgettable introduction to New York, a city that seemed to embody the very essence of hope, energy, and endless opportunity. As the taxi drove through Central Park, the radio station changed, and the music shifted from upbeat pop to a mellow classical piece. Rose's eyes lit up with enthusiasm at the sight of the greenery and plants. She pressed her face against the car window to get a better look. The aroma of freshly cut grass and blooming flowers wafting through the air, bicycle bells ringing, and distant laughter added to the park's vibrant atmosphere.
I can't wait to explore the park.
You'll have plenty of time for that. New York has a bunch of wonderful places for you to discover, Mom mumbled, trying to apply red lipstick to her lips. She failed, as the car kept bouncing on the uneven road, making the task impossible. Only Lucy sat in silence, absorbed in her new phone. She was scrolling through images of intricate costumes and elaborate fashion designs, a passion that had recently taken hold of her. Her fingers danced across the screen, saving images and noting down ideas for her own creations. She pictured herself in a studio, surrounded by fabrics, sketchbooks, and the buzz of artistic energy. Drawing had always been her love, but it was the bright and expressive world of costume design that truly captivated her. She aspired to see her creations come to life on stage or in a bustling art studio one day. She knew the path wouldn't be easy, but she was ready to take the first steps towards turning her dreams into reality. She was deep in thought, contemplating her future and the possibility of applying to an art high school. There she could nurture her talents and immerse herself in a creative environment. So focused was she in her thoughts that she barely noticed as the taxi pulled up to the gleaming new glass building on West 57th Street. The 44th-floor tower mirrored the setting sun, casting dazzling reflections across the bustling street. The sky was a canvas of orange and pink hues, with clouds drifting lazily across the horizon. But Lucy's mind was elsewhere, lost in dreams of her artistic future. On the grass, just a few steps from the car, a mysterious ancient lady bent over, intently looking for something. Her silhouette was sharp against the backdrop of the towering structure. She was dressed in a crisp, dark business suit, the fabric so spotless it seemed to absorb the light. A black tie, perfectly knotted, gave her appearance a sense of importance. Her large, round black glasses obscured much of her face, reflecting the glare of the afternoon sun. Her long, pointed nails, painted in black, gripped the handle of her black umbrella tightly. She jabbed the ground with her umbrella, its tips striking the soil with a firm, purposeful motion, as if searching for something hidden beneath the surface. There was an air of mystery about her, a sense that something was not quite right. Her actions seemed calculated, her gaze intense, leaving an unsettling feeling that there was more to her presence than met the eye.
It should be here somewhere. Today is the day it's supposed to shine. I need it to restore what was taken from me,
she muttered to herself. Rose approached the ancient lady.
Excuse me, ma'am. Are you looking for something?
The ancient lady looked up, startled. She hesitated before speaking, her expression turning sour, as if she'd just bitten into a lemon.
Yes, I am. It's very important. It holds the key to my past and future. Can I help you look?
Rose asked politely, her voice a beacon of simplicity and kindness amidst the ancient lady's mysterious aura. The ancient lady was so surprised by the offer that she fell silent for a moment. However, after a pause, she snapped back sharply. No, I'm fine. Rose shrugged and rejoined her family. They shared a confused look among themselves and continued to unload their luggage, while the ancient lady resumed her search. Although she didn't feel offended at first glance, she still felt strange. Rose cast one last, fleeting glance at the ancient lady before following her family into the building, leaving the elderly woman alone on the sidewalk.
I will find it. I must. I need to,
the ancient lady whispered to herself. The family stepped into the lobby of their new building, a sprawling space bathed in the warm glow of polished wood and vibrant colours. The air was charged with the sweet, fresh scent of lilies that stood tall in a grand vase at the centre of the room. Sunlight streamed through the windows, casting dancing shadows on the gleaming floor. The gentle hum of conversation echoed as people came and went, their footsteps tapping a rhythm on the polished surface. Approaching the doorman, who stood smartly dressed and attentive, the family felt a sense of belonging in their new home. "Welcome! How are you? How was your trip?"
Thank you. All was great,"
Rose's dad replied kindly. The doorman handed them a small yellow envelope, the apartment number clearly marked in black ink, its crisp edges contrasting with the elegant yet slightly worn attire. Inside they found a shiny new key. Rose's mom couldn't resist the charm of the doorman's unique emerald signet ring. It glinted in the lobby's soft, golden lighting, the deep green stone catching the light and casting a subtle, ethereal green glow that danced gently on the surrounding surfaces. The rich hue of the emerald stood out against the doorman's skin, a small yet striking detail that symbolized understated elegance, adding a touch of refinement to the lobby's warm and inviting atmosphere. "That's a beautiful signet ring you have there. It looks quite old," Mom said. "Thank you, ma'am. It's been in my family for generations."
She has an eye for detail. Especially when it comes to jewellery,"
Rose's dad proudly added. The family stepped into the elevator, the polished metal doors sliding smoothly shut behind them. The elevator hummed softly as it went up, the gentle vibration beneath their feet showing how smoothly the modern building worked. The numbers on the display panel lit up one by one, each glow a small beacon marking their ascent to their new home. As they reached their floor, the elevator came to a gentle stop, the doors opening with a quiet chime, welcoming them to their new beginning.